International Championship, which kicked off a year after. Now, the first decade was dominated by England and Scotland until Wales finally won in 1893 and Ireland a year later. After years of dipping in and out of the championship, France in 1931. They were accused of paying players when rugby was still strictly an amateur sport. They had to wait years to be let back in, but after World War II, the Five Nations resumed. Didn't always run smoothly though, like in 1973 when all 5 teams won 2 matches and lost 2 matches. Now, because they didn't do points difference at the time, they just decided that everyone was the champion. It's like trying to keep kids happy, the whole "you're all winners." In the years following, other teams in Europe started to get better at rugby and actually got to a stage where they were regularly beating teams in the Five Nations. In 1997, Italy beat Scotland, France and Ireland home and away. So 2 years later, the Five Nations invited Italy in, creating the Six Nations as we know it. In recent years, there have been calls to expand the tournament further to other European teams. Georgia and Portugal have been prime candidates to join of late. It's also been suggested there could be 2 tiers with promotion and relegation to promote growth of the sport in Europe. But the existing nations are a bit reluctant. So for now, it looks like the Six Nations, or Six Nations, or Sei Nazioni, is here to stay.
A very good morning to you. How are you? Welcome along to Early Breakfast here on Talksport with Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. You can find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. We're building up to Talksport Breakfast back at 6 o'clock this morning. In for an absolute cracker as well. It's Jeff Stelling, the legend. Andy Townsend, the Villa ledge, and also the Man United legend himself, Rio Ferdinand, will be here with the guys in the studio. But coming up over the next hour, here's Nick with the details.
Morning, Shebahn. We'll go over that Ruben Amorim interview, saying he wants to stay there for 20 years. What do you make of all this? Will Amorim still be there at the end of this season? Or is he the next Fergie? Also, Heung-min says farewell to Spurs, but James Maddison looks to have injured the same knee as last season. Thomas Frank says it looks bad. Spurs fans, how are you feeling about this season? 03717 223344 is the number. Give us a call and we'll look ahead to what is going to be a nail-biting finish to the 5th and final test with India, and checking on the weather as well. We'll see how we go. The EFL return this weekend. All the details of that to come. This is the Early Sports Breakfast.
Yep, with Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. Find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. I know we've only just really started working together, but can I show you something a little personal?
Yeah, go on.
You want to see my foot?
Yes, what's happened to your foot?
Not great for radio.
No, it's okay. If you can watch it, you can watch it on the YouTube channel. If you're just listening, Shebahn's got her foot in the air.
See, I put a pen mark around it.
Does that mean you've been bitten by some sort of radioactive spider?
But it's growing. It keeps spreading.
It happened to me. So when did you get bitten?
I don't know. I just realised that it was a wee bit itchy yesterday, but this morning I was like, hold on a minute, I got out of bed, I could barely walk on it.
And did you call 111 or did you just look it up on the internet what to do?
I just scratched it.
How long is it? So it's 24 hours now?
Yeah.
And it's getting bigger?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Like that's why I put the pen round it.
And do you know what bit you?
Not a clue.
So I heard some story the other day about some wasp's nest that was found in an old nuclear power station. They're worried about radioactive wasps.
Oh, no
so you might turn into the next Marvel character if you're lucky.
If I can get some superpowers, I'll take it. But weird feeling. It looks absolutely bogging as well.
We'll keep an eye on it.
I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, is it your striking foot?
No, it's not.
It's the other one. The standing.
Yeah,
there.
my right foot's my good foot. This is my left foot. So we'll get
That's
by.
the important thing.
Nick, thank you very much. You're back with us for the papers very, very soon. Looking at the back pages for you just quickly, by the way, there's a lot of focus in the cricket. The drama, God forbid a bit of gloomy light people. Back page of the Times, 35 runs and 4 wickets, one last day. Brook and Root hit centuries. Woakes ready to bat and sling it all. Was called off last night due to gloomy weather. And it was so dramatic. It was on a knife edge. And for all of those fans who had to head home when the light didn't look too bad, but obviously the umpires were out with their wee meters and saying, no, this isn't good enough. And play will resume today. We'll have all of the updates for you on Talksport. It's also back page of the Daily Mail. They've gone with have England thrown it away. Late India burst sets up nail-biting final day. Maybe it's what England needed. Back page of The Sun is a focus on Ruben Amorim in this big interview. I want to be here for 20 years, but Ruben admits he's used up all his credits. It's a good interview. We'll give you the details in a moment. It's also making the back page of the Daily Mirror. We will be champion. Ruben pledges a title and says he wants to do a Fergie and be at Old Trafford for 20 years. Some other bits going around. Of course, you've probably heard now about this James Maddison news. In a pre-season friendly, it looks like he's done some bad knee damage. You've seen the clips going around. He knows he's got a problem there. And Thomas Frank says it's a bad one as well. That's a shame for James Maddison, it really is. And Son, obviously the news that he's leaving the club's doing the rounds as well. We'll get into that. And also Eddie Howe, the latest in the Alexander Isak saga. Eddie Howe warned want-away Alexander Isak that Newcastle stars cannot expect to act poorly and then train with their teammates. So that's back pages of the newspapers today. Like I said, more with Nick Ellerby coming up in the next 10 minutes or so. But let's start with this Ruben Amorim's big interview. He's always so honest and straight to the point, isn't he? Sometimes you would say too honest. I don't want to see that change. A nightmare season for Manchester United. He's explained how it wasn't the post-match feeling that upset him last season. It was always beforehand, because he says Amorim would drive to games last season knowing Man United would lose.
To tell you the truth, it's not how I return to my house after the games, how I left to go to the games, because I felt that sometimes we will struggle. All the struggles that we had in the games, I feel it before the game. So that is the hardest part, is to go to the game and know that we are not going to be competitive how we should be. That is the hardest part.
I think most games went into last season, I just felt the exact same way. And then the thing is, you couldn't see it any other way. You couldn't see them doing a good job when he wanted to play a certain system and he didn't have the players to do it. And he said, I'm not going to change that. So he probably knew he was in for a hide in most games that he was going along to, and that cannot be a good feeling. Listen, I really, really like Ruben Amorim, and I really want the club to stick by him and give him the time that he deserves. And what is time now as a Premier League manager? It's like 6 months, isn't it? And I just think he needs so much longer than that at a club at Man United to be able to turn it around. He's spoken about the time he's had with the new players in pre-season, the players that he's brought through the door. He says he's now feeling much more confident in this interview. He's implemented strict new rules for players on things like timekeeping and how they interact with fans outside Old Trafford. Obviously, there's a lot of fans just now who are looking to get players. I think they're looking to get them on social media, and we've seen a few Man United players act out, shall we say, and you can understand they're frustrated, they want to bite back, but I think he's obviously looking and going, this has got to change the culture of the club. He's got this new 6-man leadership group. Captain Bruno Fernandes, Harry Maguire will set the standards alongside Diogo Dalot, Tom Heaton, Sandro Martinez and Nasser Mazraoui. He's frozen out the bomb squad, as we've known for the last couple of months. Malacia, Anthony, Sancho and Garnacho are training away from the first team squad. Amorim says he's got no hard feelings towards them, especially Garnacho, who he calls a really talented boy. But he and the 21-year-old do not see eye to eye. It's a really interesting interview. I mean, I've missed the Premier League and I've missed the honesty of Ruben Amorim. I'm glad that he's back. On the Sunday session, Perry Groves, the former Arsenal winger, and Hugh Wozencroft discussed the Man United and Ruben Amorim's situation.
With Garnacho, he is severing all ties completely with Man. You're a Man United fan, right? Yeah. When he broke onto the scene in 2022-23, you must have looked at that and thought, wow, we've got a talent here. Because he did, wouldn't he?
I still think he's a talented footballer, and for his age, He's actually produced fairly well, fairly good numbers for his age group. But Manchester United are not in the position to have characters like that in the change room anymore. They've had a long period of players who don't work hard enough, who want to put every responsibility for poor results onto other people but themselves in terms of the playing group. And it's time to move on for that, and they need more maturity.
Every top club has a brilliant manager, don't they, who's a dictator, but then they leave the control of the dressing room to the senior players. Yeah. So even players like Fernandes is his captain, Harry Maguire should be saying, "Oi, you wind your neck in. This is not how we conduct ourselves here at Manchester United."
Our issue is, I think, even with those established players at Manchester United, there has been for a while a culture of it's everyone's fault but the players. And that actually comes from the hierarchy in the club as well.
The thoughts of Hugh Wiesencroft and Perry Groves on the Sunday session here yesterday on Talksport. I completely agree with them. There's a lack of culpability, there's a lack of character in that dressing room, and the players who do have character and who show good off the pitch and show maturity are the right guys in this leadership group, and the ones who have shown that element of baggage and bad attitudes are the ones in the bomb squad. So off they go. I like it. I like that he sets standards. I like that he's no nonsense, and I actually cannot wait to hear what Rio Ferdinand thinks of all this. 6-time Premier League winner is going to be here in the studio with Jeff Stelling and Andy Townsend on Talksport Breakfast this morning. It's a good time to have him here to get his thoughts on this Ruben Amorim interview. Like he says, he wants to be at Old Trafford for quite some time. I love hearing when people visualise things and they lay out what their plan is, because it's shown that he's committed to the club. He's wanted this job for such a long time. He's got this job. It's not going to be easy to turn it around. I mentioned like the time that managers get in the Premier League now to succeed. He's not going to have long before the pressure will start mounting on him again. But I think they need to give him a long, long time if they want to be able to see it turn around. How much time does he get though? Do you think he'll still be there at Christmas? Or do you think he is the new Fergie? I'd like to think the latter. 03717 22 3344 81089. You can let us know your thoughts. Ruben Amorim, is he the man to take Man United forward? I like the sound of this interview. For me, he's making all the right noises. Is he the man for you? 03717 22 3344. Meanwhile, out in the Far East, Heung-min got a guard of honour from both teams as he said goodbye to Spurs during his last game for the club against Newcastle in his home country of South Korea. It was actually quite emotional, wasn't it? The actor from Parasite is one of Son's best mates, and he kind of did a little speech before the game and all that kind of stuff, saying people in the country haven't been sleeping since he announced that he's leaving Spurs. It's kind of rocked everybody. There was tears when he came off, and after the game he said a decade in North London has gone by in a blink of an eye.
It was incredible. I mean, gone so fast, the 10 years. Some amazing moments, some beautiful moments, and I can only think about the beautiful moments, and amazing moments. So Spurs will be always in my heart.
Oh, bless him. Is he maybe the most liked player? Everybody loves a little bit of Son, don't they? He seems like a delightful young man, to be fair to him. And I'd say he's a Premier League legend. This is a debate that Henry Winter and Sean Custis had on the Sunday edition yesterday.
As a club legend, probably.
Oh,
as a Premier League legend?
Well, it depends what's your cut-off.
Well, I mean, Thierry Henry's a Premier League legend. Yep. Dennis Bergkamp is. Didier Drogba's probably a Premier League legend.
Definitely.
David Beckham's
Do you have to have won the title to be a Premier League legend? I mean, it's a debate. Maybe we should do sort of something on it sort of more regularly, just sort of looking at what exactly defines a legend. But certainly from Tottenham's perspective, absolutely. And look, you have to put him up as one of the most influential foreign players.
Yeah, club legend for sure, right? Spurs fans, you can have your say on that this morning. He's got to be a Spurs legend. And then staying and waiting out and getting that trophy was lovely to see for him as well. You can have your say on that this morning, just on the subject of Spurs, by the way. That sad scenes from James Maddison as well. Stretchered off in tears after a nasty issue with a knee injury that he seemed to have before as well. Spurs boss Thomas Frank saying it looks like a bad one as well. Are you worried about creating chances next season without James Maddison? Kulusevski's still injured as well. And is Thomas Frank the man to turn things around for you at Spurs? And what happens with life without Son? 03717 22 3344. We've got a lot to get into this morning. You can have your say. This is Early Breakfast here on Talksport. A very good morning to you. How are you getting on today? You're listening to Early Breakfast here on Talksport with Adrian Flux. Get a tailor-made quote for your commercial vehicle. Search Adrian Flux Insurance for the individual. Chelsea's Player of the Year in 1991, Andy Townsend, is back on Talksport Breakfast this morning alongside the legend Jeff Stelling. If you have just joined us, you've got good news coming up on breakfast this morning. Rio Ferdinand is going to be here in the studio with the lads. Looking forward to that. Don't forget, if you've got plans, if you're heading out and about, you can download the Talksport app and you can take us anywhere with you today. If you're working, stick us on the app. I mean, if you're not listening to a bit of music or a little background radio in the workplace now, I don't know how you do it, unless you're like a surgeon or something. Maybe you have to concentrate. By the way, speaking of surgeons, I might have to lose the foot soon, guys. A lot of you getting in touch. Mark on the deck saying he thinks the horseflies got me. Oh geez, Sam from Kelso saying they might be mosquitoes or fleas biting you. Hopefully not fleas. My cat's up to date with his Profender. Good morning to the Spark. He says if you've elevated your foot while sleeping, you'll be dandy. How do you think I sleep? I sleep standing up. Jeez. Morning to Baz. He says, Shebahn, get your legs seen too. You don't want sepsis. If it's spreading, it's dangerous. By the way, it's coming outside the pen line right now as we speak. It was nice knowing you. How did she die? A horsefly. Is that a normal thing? 03717223344. It's the number to have your say. This morning we're talking about Ruben Amorim. Is he the next Fergie in Manchester United? Or will he be lucky to see it through the next 6 months? I'm hoping he's the next Fergie. I really am. We're going to speak about that more in just a minute. But some of your other headlines today: Celtic boss Brendan Rodgers says he never gave up hope that they'd make a breakthrough in their opening match of the Scottish Premiership season. The defending champions scored in the 87th minute to beat St Mirren 1-0. Excuse me. Get in it, boys! In other news, English golfer Charlie Hull was upbeat despite narrowly missing out on her first major title. She was so close. She ended the Women's Open tied for second on 9 under par, 2 shots off the Japanese winner Mayu Yamashita. By the way, did anybody see Mimi Rhodes' hole-in-one? The way it bounced off the other ball just at the side, and it was really, really cool. Very, very good. And also, Lando Norris has cut the gap in Formula One's Drivers' Championship to 9 points following his victory at the Hungarian Grand Prix. Talksport's Tom Clayton was watching for us.
It was a win for McLaren and a win for Lando Norris in Hungary. It's the 9th of his career after a thrilling final few laps. Norris played his one-stop strategy perfectly and just held on despite teammate Oscar Piastri running closer than half a second behind for the final few laps. George Russell came home in third after the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc suffered major problems towards the end, but the glory today goes to Lando Norris, who gets revenge for victory being snatched away from him in Budapest last year. Plus, it's McLaren's 200th win in Formula One as a constructor. The gap at the top of the table, just 9 points between Norris and Piastri heading into the second part of the season. We'll see you in 4 weeks.
Wonderful, Tom Clayton. More on that on our website at talksport.com. Right, is Ruben Amorim the new Fergie? He's done an interview which has gone absolutely everywhere this morning. He wants to beat the club for the next 20 years. I would like to see that too. If I see another manager at Man United in the next year, that's it. I'm done. We're all done. Good morning to Amir, the Man United fan. Morning, Amir. How are you, buddy?
Morning. Big fan. I don't know how you do it in the mornings, but you're amazing.
Well, thank you. I mean, you're doing it in the morning. What is it you're doing up at this ungodly hour?
Picking someone up from Sheffield, taking them to the airport.
Oh, good for you. Are you a taxi driver?
Private hire.
Oh. Wink, wink. Yeah, it's good to know.
Yeah.
It's good to know somebody, Amir. Listen, thank you so much for your call. How are you feeling then about next season?
I'm optimistic. I just said to Nick there, I'm optimistic because the pre-season was pretty good. I think in total we had a defeat, then a victory, and then at this Premier League series we had 2 victories and a draw. I do still think we need some incomings, and I know we need some outgoings. But about this interview, it was actually reported that he was joking about the 20 years. Some have taken it serious, some haven't. But I know it's kind of got blown on all papers and all that. I love the guy. I think, and give him time. I hope, this might be his first full season. So give him a chance. Let's see what he does.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of that quote, he says, I want to stay 20 years at this club. This is my goal, and I truly believe in that. People could mock it, but at the end of the day, I mean, Fergie was given time. What was it, 4 years before Fergie started to turn things really around at Manchester United? These things do take time, and the state that the club is in just now, you think it's going to take any manager time, but I do love his honesty. I like his approach, I like his character, I like the way that he is. So fingers crossed that it works out for him. Where do you see us finishing up next season then, Amir?
Better than 15th. I think we'll be top 8 at the moment because there are other clubs that are stronger than us. Based on like what Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Chelsea. I do think that's going to be the top 4. So maybe not the top 4, but I'm optimistic. Let's just work on that. Optimistic and should be better than 15.
Yeah, let's try and be positive. Listen, thank you so much for your call this morning. 03717 22 3344. Is Ruben Amorim the next Sir Alex Ferguson? You can let us know your thoughts on that this morning. Or will he be struggling to make it to Christmas? I hate to think in a negative light. Time now to look at today's back pages with Nick.
The Back Page Review on Talksport with Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. Find out more at adrianflux.co.uk.
Forgot about big Adrian Flux there. Sorry, Adrian.
Yeah, more important than me.
Yeah, never mind Nick Ellaby. It's with Adrian Flux and Nick Ellaby.
I'm not sponsoring this segment.
What's this hat about?
I've got this hat on because I'm absolutely crazy about the cricket.
Right.
And
is it like an Oasis cricket mashup?
Well, this team under Brendan McCullum, they're sort of accused of being a bit like a cult, and they all wear these bucket hats. They are a little bit like a cult, to be honest. A bit of a closed shop sometimes. That brings it with it its own problems. But what a team to watch.
Yeah.
We'll get to the cricket in a minute.
I'm into the cricket, and that just shows you how. Get
ready for an absolutely frothing winter, because people are already talking about the Ashes. We could start with the cricket maybe before we get back onto Amorim. People are already talking about the Ashes. We're 5 months away from it.
Right.
The Aussies are already piping up. Davey Warner's having a go at Joe Root, saying his front pad looks like a surfboard, and he's going to be Josh Hazelwood's bunny all winter, but Hazelwood's only got him out 3 times. The chat, by the time we get to December, the chat is going to be absolutely deafening. Joe Root on a lot of the back pages this morning, on the back of the Sun, Joe's ton for Thorpe. That was because Joe Root, when he got his century yesterday against India, 103 he made in the end. He put on that headband that we were all wearing on Friday for Graham Thorpe, who took his life last year. Graham Thorpe was a mentor of Joe Root, found him, kind of worked on him as a young cricketer, and a lot of those players know Thorpe pretty well. So it was a really special moment, really, really emotional moment. And actually, Neil Manthorpe and John Norman on Following On podcast, they were talking about how they were both in tears and how it's difficult for men to talk about this kind of stuff, but actually that's the whole point. We don't talk about it enough, so that was a really nice moment. On the back of the Times, 35 runs, 4 wickets, 1 last day. Brook and Root hit centuries. Wokes ready to bat in sling. So Chris Wokes dislocated his shoulder, we think, on the first day of this test match, but he had his whites on yesterday. We thought he wasn't going to play again, but if he is needed today, hopefully he won't be, he is going to come out and bat with one hand.
So dramatic.
Against India. Unbelievable. And then on the back of the Daily Mail, have England thrown it away? There's a picture of Harry Brook with his bat sort of flying in the air. He made 111. Harry Brook really turned the game in England's favour yesterday, but then this big shot, bat went up in the air, ball went up in the air, and he was out. But, as the guys on Following On said, if you're going to chase 371, you need to play a few shots. So I don't think we can blame him too much for that.
I'm sorry, but you're miles off it with the gloominess. I mean, calling it off for okay, I know you're not looking happy right now.
No, you're right.
He's about to throw his hat at me.
No, I'm not. Cricket yesterday was the best and the worst of cricket. Actually, as Martin Samuels is writing in the Times, we've had. I think this is the best home test series since the Ashes in 2005 in terms of the drama. But then what happened at the end? England needed 35 runs. And the India needed 4 wickets. There was plenty of time. It started raining a little bit. The covers came on, and at the Oval they decided just not to come back on because the outfield was too wet. But really, 27,000, full house, game there to be won from either side. Really, they should just play on, shouldn't they?
A little bit of rain never hurt nobody. I know you were saying about earlier on. It doesn't. But I mean, the fans will be so disappointed. And who was it? Was it Stuart Broad who tweeted afterwards that he said, he's at the train station, everybody's standing there with their sunglasses on. It wasn't that gloomy.
It was absolutely. It was so sunny last night, and I think they could have played till 8 o'clock.
Listen, anyway. Maybe it's exactly what England needed. It's weird because they've even looking at the weekend and the Lions game, in Sydney, the lightning strike.
Wow,
then 45 minutes later, they're coming back on. I mean, I thought it would have helped the British and Irish Lions, but it didn't. Aussies wrapped it all up. Lovely stuff, Nick. Thank you. Cheers. That was a look at today's back pages with Adrian Flux.
The Back Page Review on Talksport with Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. Find out more at adrianflux.co.uk.
What was it Nick said there, that we were frothing at the cricket? Did he say frothing at the cricket? Frothing the EFL's back, guys. We'll do it next on Early Breakfast on Talksport.
When Sir Jim Ratcliffe took control of footballing operations at United, the Manchester-born billionaire was somewhat welcomed in as a homegrown hero, ready to save the club from the dark days of the Glazers. But in just 12 months, he became a punchbag for many fans. So what happened? Well, let's take a look and you can decide for yourself. Over the last 3 years, the club lost 300 million quid, and Ratcliffe rightfully committed to sorting that. But what seemed to get fans' backs up is the way he went about it. For example, Talksport understands staff lunch options at the Carrington canteen have been reduced to just soup and sandwiches, which the higher-ups at the club say will save them 1 million quid a year. Now, that might make sense for many who don't get free meals at work themselves, but it does get a little bit more picky than that. It was reported that after staff brought some stationery, they were ordered to send sellotape back because it wasn't considered to be essential. And the reward for being Steward of the Week used to be 50 quid, but that was scrapped and replaced by a paper certificate. But it's not just seemingly stingy decisions. In 2024 alone, Ratcliffe oversaw 250 redundancies, and more were announced at the beginning of 2025. Now, while there are people who acknowledge United staff numbers are overinflated, it's the optics which aren't great. Add to the mix the introduction of a flat ticket price of 66 quid for every fan, even children, while Casemiro's on 350 grand a week, and the frustration of fans reached fever pitch. Time will tell whether Ratcliffe's cost-cutting measures will improve outcomes at the club, but one thing's for sure, there's a long way to go for United to be back where many say they belong.
Well, good morning. How are you today? How was your weekend? You're listening to Early Breakfast here on Talksport with Adrian Flux, the cover you need at a price you'll love with What's Fans Insurer of the Year 2021. You can find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. Shebahn with you. Good morning if you have just joined us. It's good to be with you this fine Monday morning. Might be the last Monday of my life. Hate to be dramatic, but the skies, the redness is spreading. People are texting about sepsis. Hopefully it's not that bad. I've been bitten, we don't know what by, but my foot, it feels like it could explode as well. It's like really tight and throbbing. Sounds weird. In context for that, don't you? Anyway, hopefully I'll live to tell the tale. Thank you for your kind messages this morning. Good morning to the Chelsea fan, Sparks. He says, no, you've got to sleep and then elevate your foot while you're sleeping, and that'll help it drain out a little bit. Listen, thank you very much for your messages. I'll hopefully be here tomorrow. If I'm not, you know exactly what happened. Anyway, some of your headlines you're waking up to this morning. Everton head coach David Moyes says the lack of bedding in time in any new signings would have been before the game starts in the Premier League season is a concern for him. He's revealed bringing in a right-sided player as a priority, having reportedly had a bid for Southampton's Tyler Dibbling rejected. Aberdeen boss Jimmy Thielen says consistency is key if they're to improve on last season as they begin their Scottish Premiership campaign at Hearts this evening. They were impressive, weren't they, at the beginning of last season for quite some time, to be fair to Aberdeen. Fingers crossed that can happen again this season. The Scottish Cup holders finished 5th in the top flight to qualify for today's Europa League playoff round draw. And also Crystal Palace will find out their Conference League opponents this morning when the draw takes place for the playoff round. They were demoted from the Europa League over alleged multi-club ownership breaches, a ruling which is subject to an appeal at the Court of Arbitration for Sport next week. Palace will be a seeded team, and will play the first leg of that tie later this month. For more on the story, you can see our website at talksport.com. Ruben Amorim is all over the back pages today. He's done an interview, hasn't he, talking about the plans at Manchester United this season, the players who were kind of looking like we're saying goodbye to. He says Garnacho doesn't have a future at Manchester United. It's not personal, just some things don't work out. He really wants to change the culture at the club, and he trusts these players in the leadership group. That's Harry Maguire, Bruno Fernandes, Martinez, Diogo Dalot, Mazraoui and Tom Heaton in there as well. He trusts these players to change the culture at the club. He's spoken to them about their timekeeping, their attitude off the pitch when they're speaking with fans, etc. He's really looking to turn things around, and he knows that he's going to need time, and he hopes the clubs trust him with the process. But how long do you think he gets? I mean, he's hinted that he'd like to be there for the next 20 years. He sees his future at this club. I think if he is really given the right amount of time, and it's not going to be a win next season, it's not going to be the season after that, I feel like it's going to be a few seasons before we can see that change really happen. And I think I think the manager coming in, if he know it's the right guy, they deserve that time. You know, the hiding and firing is not working just now. But you can let me know your thoughts on Ruben Amorim. Is he the next Sir Alex Ferguson? 03717 22 3344. Let's do this now, because football is back. In League One, Plymouth Argyle lost their first game following relegation, beaten 3-1 at home by 10-man Barnsley. And in League Two, we've had Ian Holloway, the legend, calling for one of his own Swindon fans to be booted out of the football club. Plus, a man from the crowd had to step in as a fourth official as Bromley went to Shrewsbury. It's back, and we absolutely love it. Here's how the weekend sounded on Talksport.
Ruben Colwill fires the ball goal and equalises, went direct for goal and found it.
I tell you what, it's an outstanding finish.
Capaccio, oh what a goal! What a way to get your first goal for Cardiff City.
Remembering my own playing days, and the first day of the season can be quite a difficult game because there's so much expectation, you put so much into it.
Plymouth 0, Barnsley 2, and this time it is an absolute cracker from Adam Phillips. And it's teed up for a shot and into the bottom corner. A left-footed drive by Bobby Poynton, and it's Bradford City 2, Wycombe Wanderers 0, and Valley Parade is in dreamland.
Huddersfield 2, Leyton Orient 0. Alfie May has just got his debut goal for Huddersfield.
Bonds, who was about 12-15 yards out left of centre, and he's turned and fired the ball into the back of that. Uphill task now for the EFL new boys. Barnet 0, Fleetwood 2.
Lincoln 2, Reading 0. Lincoln have doubled their lead. Rico Hackett has kept his calm, kept his composure with a lovely finish here.
Udo's done one, he's made the run and the finish and the goal for Wycombe Wanderers, and they're back in this game.
Plymouth 1, Barnsley 3 to surely wraps it up. Davis Kinaldon is the man who's got it.
Comes Molyneux, hits it, and it goes straight down the middle. It is Doncaster Rovers 1, Exeter 0.
10-man Walsall 2, Swindon 1. Connor Barrett. This stadium has come alive once again.
It does feel like a flattering scoreline, but Huddersfield 3-0 up.
Yep, the EFL is back. Fairly disappointing opening game to the weekend, wasn't it? Luton against AFC Wimbledon. But in terms of the drama that comes along with the EFL, it was packed, to be fair. Let's focus on this Ian Holloway story. He's told one Swindon fan that he'll hunt him down. He's went full Liam Neeson after a seat was thrown. Part of a seat was thrown at Walsall goalkeeper Miles Roberts. Swindon went on to lose their opening game 2-1 at the Bestcott Stadium before Connor Roberts won the game for Walsall. But Ian Holloway, heard Ollie, absolutely fuming over what happened to his player.
I want to fight for things, but what you don't do is rip out a seat, throw it at someone. And whoever was stood by the person who did it, I need you to step forward and say, actually, I'm not having that in football. I want to bring my grandchildren to watch my team. And I wouldn't want Walsall thinking that about all of us. So whoever the bloke is, I want him dobbed in, because that's not right. That's not football. You think you're clever, you think you're upset and all of this. Just shut your face and get out of the game.
Oh my God, I love that man so much. I just think he's amazing. I love Ian Holloway. I absolutely love the bones of that man. And he's right. I mean, people who behave like that, they see going to football as an excuse to act like a complete, can't say that word on the radio. You know, just what a coward that you are. You're a coward. That's all you are. Thinking you behave like that at football games and do that to football players. And luckily everything was okay, but to throw things, parts of chair, whatever it was, people who throw vapes, people who throw bottles, You're an absolute shambles. It's on you. And I love that Holloway took the moment to really call him out and say, whoever's done that and the person next to you, dob him in, because we will not have them back at the football club. By the way, just looking ahead to some of the fixtures coming up here on Talksport, we've got 150 commentaries from the EFL coming up over next season for you here on Talksport 2. Coming up this Saturday, 5:30, Sheffield United against Bristol City. That's 5:30 kick-off for you over on Talksport 2. You do not want to miss that. And if you haven't already, you can download the Talksport app and you can easily just swipe across to Talksport 2 and get our commentary of that game from the Championship. By the way, I was at a wedding at the weekend. Congratulations to the wonderful human being that is Leanne Sanderson and her new wife Ellis. It was just a beautiful day. We had the loveliest time, and I was sat at the table with Leon McKenzie, former boxer, former Premier League player, and an all-round good guy. It's a really good conversation where we're talking about his show here at Talksport After the Lights Go Out with Steve Harmison, and the conversation that he's recently just had with the former Newcastle and Sunderland striker Michael Chopra. So the interview centres around a serious gambling addiction which affected Michael throughout much of his career. Here he is explaining how Roy Keane handled the situation with him when he signed for Sunderland in 2007.
My agent said to me, you need to go and speak to Roy, because if this starts affecting your performance at Sunderland, it's going to be damaging for you, and Roy won't be having any of it. So I spoke to Roy, and Roy was brilliant, really, really good. Took me in his office straight away, totally understand the situation. He literally called a Sport and Chance clinic while I was there in the office to try and get me the help I needed. Roy phoned Sport and Chance. Sport and Chance was fully booked, but they mentioned another place, which was the Capio Nightingale Hospital, which is next to the Landmark Hotel. So Roy straight away said to me, you're going to go in there next week. And I was like, well, what about football? I want to play football, Roy, and that sort of thing. He went, listen, you need to get the help.
Oh, fair play. Really interesting conversation. It's a brilliant discussion, and we discuss this here on the show quite a lot. We talk about it in Talksport. When somebody comes out with an addiction or a battle that they're going through, an internal battle, and they're a sports person and they're meant to crack on and perform all of the time, so it must be so difficult. And that's what I love about After the Lights Go Out. You really get the detail, the open and honest conversations from these sports people who have been through the mill and struggled with addiction. So it was a really interesting listen there from Michael Chopra, and credit to Leon McKenzie and Steve Harmison for the job they're doing on that show. It's After the Lights Go Out. You can get it as a podcast wherever it is you get your podcast, but you can also listen to it on the Talksport app. You do not want to miss it. It's very, very good. Okay, time now for the front pages with Nick.
It's a front page throwdown.
Oh, what a move!
The front page is first on the early sports breakfast. Talk Sport.
I hear a little indecent proposal is on the table from you, sir.
Well, I mean, the boys in the control room, Mark and Dante, were saying I might have to suck the poison out of your foot. I mean, I don't know. It wasn't a snake bite.
Well, you've done it before. Hey. No, it wasn't. I don't know what it is.
Maybe we could put that on the Talksport YouTube channel.
It's proper
Actually, it's not looking great, is it? Yeah. I don't know if there are any doctors listening, but we've had a bit of advice, haven't we?
Yeah, maybe they'll just elevate it. Maybe I'll just take a Piriton and try not crash.
Definitely keep an eye on it. Listen, I don't know, do mosquitoes like you?
Yes.
Because at the moment, page 5 of the Daily Star, invasion of the boozy mozzies.
Oh, well, there we go.
They're out for blood, and it's not just
it's boozy blood.
It's not just football fans that like beer. It's mosquitoes as well. Apparently, they're saying armies of beer-loving and blood-sucking mosquitoes are heading to Britain. Experts warn the combination of heat and storms have created the perfect breeding ground. And boffins, it's always boffins, isn't it?
Boffins
said some university somewhere say beer drinkers are even more at risk because they love the malt smell that comes from beer drinkers' blood.
What does it say about Whispering Angel? Because if so, I'm in trouble.
Nothing.
Mama in trouble.
Whispering Angel here.
They like Whispering Angel. Oh,
Bite prevention specialist Howard Carter says we currently have the perfect breeding conditions for mosquitoes in the UK. It's only a couple of weeks before there's an outbreak, so the weather's going to get good, but there are some beer-loving mosquitoes.
Okay. All right, maybe it is just a mozzie, but I'm not sure it's looking good for me.
No, well, look, we'll monitor your situation throughout the week. I'm sure you'll be fine. Listen, and any medical professionals listening, please get in touch with any information. Just finally, before I go, in the Sun, front page of the Sun, actress.
How fit is she?
She's incredible, isn't she? Actress is top of the league. This is Sydney Sweeney. Prem stars try to score with Sydney. So she's newly signalled, Sydney Sweeney, the actress. Apparently she's been swamped with messages from Premier League stars offering to fly her to Europe Europe for a date.
Lads.
A source says her Instagram DMs are packed with messages from famous men trying to get in contact with her. It's mostly guys playing for teams like Manchester United, Liverpool and Arsenal. Who do you reckon it is? Some of them might be listening. Get in touch.
Do you know I'm actually in our DMs as well?
Oh, yeah. What have you said?
She's absolutely beautiful. Jamie and I watched a movie with her in it the other night. It's called Anyone But You. Glenn Powell's in it, so I was like, okay. And anytime she was on the screen, because she's got such a phenomenal figure as well, and she's such a beautiful person. Anytime Jamie was watching her, I could feel myself getting jealous.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you get jealous of people when your husband's having a...
Look, she's just so outrageously stunning.
Yeah.
I was a bit sitting there, you know, with my Spanx on, eating ice cream, having a bottle of wine, acne on show, scratching my mosquito bites. Like, you must have been like, look at the state of you, hen.
Well, I mean, so she just split up with her former producer apparently earlier this year. Okay. But despite the offers, the news is she's politely declined them all.
Love that, love it.
She's not that kind of girl.
What you like Premier League stars with Sydney Sweeney. But I know where you're coming from. Nick, thank you very much. Coming up next on Early Breakfast, we will focus on transfers. That's it. Transfers. It's...
$10K for Coldplay.
What up? How are you this morning? Welcome along to Monday's early breakfast here on Talksport. Shebahn with you. Jeff Stelling in the house at 6 o'clock this morning on breakfast with Andy Townsend from our Chelsea and Villa. But a very special guest in the studio today, Rio Ferdinand, 6-time Premier League winner, Man United legend, is going to be here on the show with the guys. You do not want to miss it. It's competition time now, and time is running out to enter this prize draw to win £10,000 and a VIP night out at Coldplay at Wembley Stadium. The trains were packed yesterday. Everywhere you looked, everyone had a bucket hat on in the London area heading to the gigs. We've got the chance to win 6 tickets and a private box for you and your mates, 22nd of August, full hospitality, sorting you out. We're going to chuck in £10,000 spending money as well, and that's completely tax free. It all ends tomorrow night, so here's what you need to know to enter. It's 18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word WIN, have to spell it WIN, to 83338 by the 4th of August at 11 p.m. and you're in the draw automatically. Text will cost £2 plus one standard network rate message, and you must, as always, have the bill payer's permission. If you want, get a pen and paper. You can write this down now. Put your name and your number to Coldplay Competition, PO Box 3190. That's Colchester, CO2 8GP, and that'll arrive by 5 p.m. on the 7th of August, and then that way you're in the draw as well. This is a Talksport limited promotion run on Talksport Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions are at talksport.com. Good luck, our kid. I was actually just looking at my brother-in-law's Insta story there. He's just got his tickets as well. So yeah, it's going to be brilliant. Good luck. Your chance to win Coldplay tickets and £10,000. Okay, just a quick look then at the transfer situation. Transfer Tinder coming up on breakfast with the guys a little bit later. But we understand Kiefer Moore to Wrexham is done. £2 million plus add-ons from Sheffield United. Besiktas have had an £8.3 million offer accepted for Wilfred Ndidi. It's now down to the player if he wants to go to Turkey. In other news, Thomas Partey is set to join Villarreal on a 2-year deal, but first he's due in court in London tomorrow, charged with rape and sexual assault. Also, Chelsea have completed the signing of Dutch defender Jorel Hato on a 7-year deal, and Al Hilal are stepping up their pursuit of Darwin Nunez. Liverpool's asking price is £61 million. And speaking of Liverpool, this Isak saga will just continue to rumble on. It's back pages of the papers today. Eddie Howe speaking about Isak. Eddie Howe warned want-away Alexander Isak that Newcastle stars cannot expect to act poorly and then train with their teammates. Former Newcastle manager Alan Pardew told The Final Word yesterday that Newcastle have to handle Isak transfer saga quickly to succeed this season.
Now this boy, he's got to come back and he's got to decipher where this kid is. He's got to get him back from Spain. He's training on his own at his old club. You know, it doesn't bode well. I said this last week. My gut feeling is he's going. And I think the bid that they've put in for Sesko smacks to me of like, you know, they know,
yeah,
and they need to move and they need to get the best on the market right now. Obviously, Gyökeres has gone and a few options have gone already, so this is the one. Newcastle have got to get him, and obviously Man United are obviously making pitches as well, so they're up against another big rival who they've already lost a player to. Obviously, the Brentford boy, Mbeumo. So you know, it's their season really is on the line in the next two or 3 weeks of this window.
It's a fascinating one. I mean, the way it's going around just now, if it doesn't work that Isak gets out of the club, or if he doesn't get his move away from Newcastle, I don't see how it goes back to normal. And then it was the Final Word with Madge and Alan Pardew yesterday. They were talking about the situation with Harry Kane and Son, and who's the bigger Spurs legend, whatever like that. And they were saying how, remember when Harry Kane was linked with the move to Manchester City, and then he didn't come into training, whatever like that, and it looked ugly for a while, and then kind of things petered out and it gets back to normal. But you're wondering what way it'll go there. I'm sure Newcastle fans are just feeling so frustrated right now as well with this Isak situation. For more on it, you can jump onto our website at talksport.com. Don't forget, you've got a nail-biting end to the cricket coming up, one of the greatest home test series we've ever seen. England and India came off for bad light at the Oval yesterday. Just a wee bit of cloud, man. Get on with it. With England needing just 35 more runs to win the 5th test and the series at 3-1. India need just 4 wickets. We're going to have all of the updates for you on Talksport today from the Oval. Very much so. Looking forward to that. And if you're absolutely daft about your cricket, don't forget Talksport's Following On podcast with John Norman and Neil Manthorpe is available wherever it is you get your podcasts. Coming up for you on Talksport Breakfast today, you are in for an absolute cracker of a show. The legend Jeff Stelling is back in the hot seat alongside his mate, former Premier League player Andy Townsend is here, and Premier League legend on the show, 6-time winner of the Prem, Rio Ferdinand, the Man United legend, is going to be here in the studio on Talksport Breakfast this morning. You've been listening to Early Breakfast here on Talksport with Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. You can find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. Jeff Stelling and Andy Townsend on the way next.